Good work. Go on and head back up.
If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. The first tier is only $1. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. Right guys, getting into this build breakdown, starting off with the specialization, we're using the technician, mainly because of the 1 skill tier. That is going to help us get our shield to tier 5. You want a very tanky shield, especially if you're going to be playing Legendary Summit. Also, when it comes to technician, another great thing about it is the fact that we get 12% extra damage applying to robotics and skill proxies, and as you're going against the White Tusk, you're going to come across a lot of the robo dogs and drones, so that's why we're using the technician specialization. Now we've gone over the specialization, let's move on to the primary weapon, and I have gone back to it, the Chameleon, my beloved Chameleon. I love this assault rifle. Still to this day, many people sleep on this gun and they need to pick it up, dig it out of stash and give it a try. So looking at this weapon, as you can see, 79.6k base damage, 900 RPM and 50 in the magazine. This one's near enough maxed out with 15% assault rifle damage, 21% health damage and 8% crit chance. Now here is the adaptive instance talent. Hitting 30 headshots grants 20% critical hit chance and 50% critical hit damage for 45 seconds. Hitting 75 body shots grants 90% weapon damage for 45 seconds. You could also gain 150% reload speed if you go for 30 leg shots. Now, what a lot of people still don't know to this day is when it comes to heroic missions, you can hold this buff, this 45-second buff, this 20% crit chance, 50% critical hit damage and 90% weapon damage throughout a whole mission. As long as you clear an area within that 45 seconds, as soon as you go out of combat, it resets the timer. Looking at the attachments on this weapon, we have 15% crit chance on the scope, we have 10% stability on the grip, on the muzzle we have 20% accuracy, and the magazine gives us the extra 20 rounds. Seriously guys, if you've got this in a stash, dig it out. So moving on to the gear pieces, starting off with our mask. We have 1 piece of 2 pieces of golden gear. We have 10% status effects and 1% armor regen. We are using it of course for the armor regen. On this piece we have 50% weapon damage. That would usually be an armor roll. We have the max armor regen roll on there. If you need the extra crit chance, you want to use a different weapon other than the Chameleon, you would go for crit chance there instead. But we have a max roll armor regen, 12% critical hit damage and then 12% critical hit damage via a mod. Moving on to the chest piece, we are using Obliterate as a talent. I use this because you're able to do damage up close and at range. Whereas if you were using Intimidate, you'd be stuck within that 10-meter range. You'd be forced to run and gun all the time. This gives you the best of both worlds. Fair enough, you have to build up the damage, but it's a lot better than being forced to be within a certain distance. So we have a 140k armor on there. We have 5.2% critical hit chance, 12% critical hit damage, and 11.9% critical hit damage via a mod. Moving on to our holster, we have a Grupo holster giving us 15% critical hit damage. We have 14.1% weapon damage. We have a max roll of armor regen. Again, you can switch out for crit chance if you want, and then we have 12% critical hit damage. Moving on to the backpack, and it's the Memento. I use this in so many builds just because it's one of the best in slot if you're going for a a damage survivability build. When it comes to the mod on here, we have 11.9% critical hit damage. We get 15% weapon damage, 160k armor and 1 skill tier. Moving on to the gloves, our second piece of golden gear, we have a low roll on armor at 128k, we have 12% critical hit damage and 5.6% critical hit chance. And finally, moving on to our knee pads, we have the Emperor's Guard Murakami knee pads. They give us 20% skill duration, which is nice if you're using a turret. We have 50% weapon damage rolled in there, we get 1% armor regen and 8.5% hazard protection. If you get lucky, you can get crit damage there or crit chance instead. Looking at the skills, like I said, we have the Crusader Shield at a tier 5. I've decked out in shield health, as you can see, 4.9%, 4.6%, and then we have the damage bonus, which doesn't apply because we're not using the firewall. Looking at the Striker Drone, we have the 7.1% duration on there, 9.2% health, and then 4.8% damage. We're not using this for the damage, we're using it because it serves as a good distraction. And that's pretty much it. These do get a buff from the skill efficiency that we gain from the Memento backpack, so they get a slight little buff. This goes up to 6 million. As you can see, at standard it's 4 million, but I've seen it get buffed up to 6 million. And that is pretty much it, guys. I'm going to leave you with a stat sheet. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped some of you out. If it has, or you've got anything to say, any opinions, leave them down in the comment section below. If it's helped you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to smash that like button to help support the channel, to help us grow. If you're new, subscribe for lots more Division 2 content. Enjoy the gameplay I'm going to leave you, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Mod Squad.
You're going there.
Good work. Go on and head back up.
If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. The first tier is only $1. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. Primary weapon, of course, this is built around the CHAMELEON, which has got 82.8k base damage, 900 RPM and 50 in the magazine. As you can see, 15% assault rifle, 21% health damage and 8% critical hit chance. And then we have the adaptive instinct talent, hit 30 headshots grants plus 20% critical hit chance and 50% critical hit damage for 45 seconds. So what you want to do is make sure you have around 40% crit chance on the build, because the adaptive instinct talent will make up for the extra 20% you're missing out on. Hitting 75 body shots grants plus 90% weapon damage for 45 seconds. Hitting 30 leg shots grants 150% reload speed for 45 seconds. Now this is a buff you can hold throughout a whole mission. If you're doing heroic missions, you can hold these 45-second buffs throughout a whole mission. All you have to do is clear the areas in under 45 seconds and it refreshes the buffs, and you just, like I said, you just continuously hold it throughout a whole mission, which is an insane amount of damage to have throughout a whole heroic mission. Moving on to our secondary, and I'm using the SIG MPX. Main reason is it's super strong, it has amazing range, and it hasn't got bad accuracy. So we have 103k damage on this one, we have 850 RPM, and then we have 50 in the magazine. 12.3% SMG damage, 17% critical hit chance and 8% critical hit damage. Not the greatest rolls when it comes to the core attributes, but when it comes to the talent we use in close and personal, killing a target within 7 meters grants 30% weapon damage for 10 seconds. What's great about this talent is that 30% weapon damage, of course, is going to up our base damage, but it also ups our crit as well. Moving on to our gear pieces now. So the first piece of Negotiator's Dilemma gives us 170k armor. Usually that would be a red core attribute, but switched out for armor. We have 10.5% critical hit damage, 11.9% critical hit damage via a mod. Moving on to our chest piece, which is a Fenris chest piece, giving us 10% assault rifle damage. We have 12.5% weapon damage, 3.8% critical hit chance, a very low roll, and we have 10.9% critical hit damage, and a mod giving us 12% critical hit damage. The talent we are using is Obliterate. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, stacks up to 25 times. Using this talent is going to allow us to have better damage at range, and you're going to see that in the gameplay today. Whereas if we had Intimidate, you'd only get most of that damage within that 10 meters, and then you have a big damage drop off. Now the Chameleon has a damage drop off anyway because it's not made for range. It's kind of like a SMG AR hybrid, so it doesn't have the greatest range to begin with, but Obliterate makes up for that. Moving on to our holster now, and we have 15% weapon damage and 12% critical hit damage. And then we have our backpack, the Memento backpack, the new exotic added in TU11. We have 15% weapon damage. As you guys can probably see from previous videos, I did re-roll it. So we have better weapon damage, higher armor at 160k. We have the 1 skill tier, and then I have a mod on here with 11.5% critical hit damage. So if you guys don't know about this, for those of you who might be new, Kill confirmed. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting trophies provides a short and long term buff, the first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped and lasts 10 seconds. So every time we pick up a trophy, we're going to get 20% weapon damage and 30% bonus armor, and then we'll get the 5% skill efficiency because we only have one yellow on the build. And then over time, for every trophy collected, gain an additional 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regeneration for 3 seconds. So that's 5 minutes of these buffs, and if you total them all together, we'll have 30% weapon damage, 30% skill efficiency, and then you have 3% armor regen. So that is what's going to give us our survivability at long range. Whenever you're at far and you're chipping away at NPCs and you're taking damage as well, you just duck down into cover and the armor regen is going to heal you up. So that's going to allow us to have that sit back playstyle that, you know, a lot of players like to use when they're using those rifle builds. Moving on to our gloves, we have the core attribute roll for 170k armor, and then we have 11% critical hit damage. Now as you can see, I have rolled blues onto my negotiators pieces. This is just so we can get the, you know, the extra armor, the bonus armor whenever we pick up a trophy. That's going to add up to the 30% like I said earlier, so that's why those pieces were re-rolled. Moving on to the knee pads, we have 14.8% weapon damage and 12% critical hit damage, and that is it for every piece of the build. If I could change anything, I would probably go for one more blue, because I feel like it's a good balance to have around 40% bonus armor. Moving on to the skills, and of course we are using the shield. We have 3.4 million health on this shield, and of course when you get the buffs from the memento backpack, that obviously goes higher. I believe we reach around 4 million health. Also we get the damage buff on our drone, and that 22k goes up to 30k. When it comes to the mods on our shield, we're decked out on health at 4.6% shield health. We have 4.1% on this mod, and then we have the damage mod giving us an extra 4%. Now if you're running the firewall specialization, that's where that damage is going to come into play. I can gain an extra 11% damage, so if you guys want to go for more damage on NPCs, you don't feel like you're doing enough damage up close, feel free to switch out to the firewall specialization. When it comes to the mods on our drone, we have 6.7% duration, we have 9.2% health, and then we have 4.8% damage. And that is pretty much it for the build, guys. I'm going to leave you guys with the stat sheet. I'm not going to talk through it. I'm going to leave you guys with some gameplay. I hope you enjoy it. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, as it really helps us grow. If you're new around here, hit that sub button to join the mod squad. We're gaining on 18k subs, guys. Thank you for all of your support on all of my videos this month. You guys are seriously blowing it out of the water. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, mod squad. Right guys, starting off with our primary weapon, which is the exotic assault rifle, the Chameleon. 102.9k base damage, 900 RPM and 50 in a magazine. Don't forget that RPM goes higher because of the gunner specialization, so every time we get a kill it goes up by 5%. So we have all max stats on this. We have adaptive instincts, hitting 30 headshots grants plus 20% critical hit chance and 50% critical hit damage for 45 seconds. Hitting 75 body shots grants plus 90% weapon damage for 45 seconds. And hitting 30 leg shots grants 150% reload speed for 45 seconds. Looking at the attachments, we have 15% critical hit chance on the scope. We have 10% stability on the grip. And the muzzle gives us 20% accuracy. And then we have 20 extra rounds in the magazine. The second rate doesn't matter too much because you literally don't use it, so we're going to move straight onto the gear. So as you can see, we have Hunter's Fury gives us shotgun damage, SMG damage, both at 15%. The 3-piece gives us 20% armor on kill, that gets boosted up to 30 because of the gunner specialization. And then we have 100% health on kill. If you guys want to read over the Apex Predator talent, Feel free to pause the video to look at that in greater detail. On this mask we have 15% weapon damage, 6% crit chance and 10.4% critical hit damage via a mod. Our chest piece, which I had the wrong one on, so we'll switch it over right now. We have a Fenris chest piece that gives us 10% assault rifle damage. We'll chuck this mod on here. The talent we have on the chest piece is the Intimidate chest piece. While you have bonus armor, amplifies total weapon damage by 35% to enemies within 10 meters. As you can see, we have 10% weapon damage, 9.8% critical hit damage, 8.6% hazard protection, and 10.6% critical hit damage via a mod. Looking at our holster, we have it rolled for armor at 170k, so max armor, and then we have crit chance. I don't know why I just came out of the build there, but we'll get back into it. Then we have the Memento backpack, 15% weapon damage, 170k armor. We have the 1 skill tier, and then 10.6 critical hit damage via a mod. And then we have kill confirmed. Gone over this already, guys, earlier on in the video, but if you want to look at it in greater detail, pause the video. Moving on to the gloves, we have 15% weapon damage and 6% crit chance. And then finally our knee pads again, 15% weapon damage, and then we have 12% critical hit damage. So we're going to look over the stats real quick. And as you can see, these are the base stats before all the buffs are applied from all the various talents on the whole build. So we have 42.9% critical hit chance, 78.4% critical hit damage, 50% headshot damage. If we jump down here, you'll see 71.2% all weapon damage, 40% assault rifle damage. That is pretty much it. We can look at the health on kill, which is 304k. So 2 kills and you basically got near enough all your armor back. You'll be also getting bonus armor from running over trophies as well, thanks to the 2 blues that we have. These are the cooldowns for these skills. I will say, before I get this in the comments, people say, why are your skill cooldown so low? I am in the base of operations. I'm in the shooting range, so it changes what your cooldowns are. So they are not 3.3 seconds and 4.2 seconds by any means. I believe the shield is 20 seconds or 19 seconds, and the same goes for the drone. So we're using a striker drone and a shield. Deck it out in shield health, and then when it comes to the drone, you want health, duration, and that's pretty much it, guys.